Hello, hello, and welcome. Oh, let me send my message off here, and I'm going to go over to Instagram here as we get settled in. So just get settled in your space. We're just waiting for that to kick in, and it looks like we're good to go here. All right, so here we are. Welcome to Coming Into Being. And I need to shift this a little bit. There we go. So welcome, and here we are. Make sure you have a cup of water for yourself, like me, and just settle in. So take a deep breath in and just let it out with a big sigh. Let yourself really release everything that came before now. It's coming into this moment. We're always coming into this moment, moment by moment. And so that's a real discipline to develop. And Sydney, hello, hello, hello. Sassy, oh, what a name. Sassy the Corgi, all right. We're always coming into the moment, into this moment, into this moment. And so the discipline to develop is moving forward with that, staying with that timeline. Hey, Tony, Tanya, sorry. Staying with that movement as time progresses, not further ahead, not in the past. And we can think about things in further down the line, and we can think about things that are in the past, but there's a way of doing it that doesn't disrupt our being in the moment, coming into the moment, coming into the moment. So be really aware of yourself. Where are you when you're thinking about what happened yesterday? You know, are you like really kind of pulled in here and you're really going through it and you're really feeling it? Or are you settling yourself? Really aware of yourself in wherever you are, thinking, oh yeah, right, I remember this, that yesterday, or tomorrow there'll be this, that, you know. There's nothing wrong about thinking about the past or the future. It's just, how are we doing it is the question. So let's take a nice deep breath into that. And settling into now. Your physical body is in the now. So coming into that awareness of your knees, your shins, your thumbs, the middle of your back, and notice when you start doing that, how that shifts you out of all this stuff into here. Hey, Elizabeth, good to see you. Settling down. You know, this is your space to just put everything else aside. And just connect in, just connect with yourself in your environment, in your space. This is really good to do before you go to sleep, for example, as well as get ready for an exam, about to walk into that interview, whatever it is. I'm at school. Well, we're all in school in some form or another. Some school or another. Yeah. People like to call this the school of life, you know, coming to earth. The only problem I have is that people kind of get a little pulled into this lessons to learn. I don't know. It depends where you go with that lessons piece, you know? If it's fun and enjoyable, that's one thing, but if it starts, kind of this weight that starts hanging over you, not that much fun, and that ties into the religious paradigm of needing to be good, whatever however that gets defined. And for some reason, this is coming up. So, um, even in dark churches, good is defined maybe differently than in regular, I'm going to call them regular churches, the other churches, the other religions. So the dark religions and the other religions. There's a definition of good, and you've got to be good for XYZ. Now, you're here to experience being in physical form and how well you can bring in that brilliance of existence into physical form by being or becoming bit by bit the highest expression of your pure essence. That's it. It's a lot of work. I'll tell you, it's not, it sounds great, and it is, but it takes a lot of dedication also. So a lot of you have that dedication, and we all go through our trials and tribulations with that. Yeah. Take a nice deep breath in. Settling into whatever you're sitting on. Feeling your body just kind of weighing down on that seat. Maybe becoming aware of the way whatever you're sitting on, the temperature of that is changing. Taking another nice deep breath in, holding it at the top, and then slowly releasing out. And as you release out, just drop your awareness through your body, down, 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 down. And the other side, down to the core of the earth. Hey, luminous colors, nice to see you. I wasn't seeing the comments because it's too low. And Vanessa and Asta, good to see you guys. Dropping down to the core of the earth, yes. So I've said this before, and I'm saying it because I'm noticing it in the group. Grounding is a relative term. Ultimate grounding is right into the core of the earth. But it's really relative to where you are. And if you drop down a little bit, it feels grounded, and it is relative to where you were before, but maybe not completely. So just let your awareness, you're in your body, and then just put your awareness down the core of the earth. And let's just keep it there to drop you down. Yeah, nice. Slowly, now we've got the whole group is synced up, and everybody's dropping down together. There's a bit of a chunk of mental energy that is dropping away with that, so that's really good. Down into the new earth. And just notice as we're doing that, how that shifts and how that feels and how that's different than a moment ago. And let's just stay there, keeping your awareness on the core of the earth. You can do both at the same time as being aware of your physical body. So you can feel that outline, how the physical form and the core of the earth. And some deep nurturing frequencies coming through for the group here. So we're kind of really tapping in today in the aspect of the earth that's referred to as Mother Earth. It's that nurturing quality. Yeah, it's interesting that this is coming up. It's that the earth is always referred to as Mother Earth. We never hear Father Earth, right? And part of that is because, see, all life coming forth from the earth. But there's a sense right now that, at least for this moment, to step out of that for a moment. Because it's pulling us into a duality that right now in this moment is not the best for us to do. Hey, Carolina. In ultimate balance in everything, there is both aspects, both flavors. And if we really look at duality, it's the same energy or same vibration that gets pulled in two different directions, or that reverberates off in two different directions, two expressions. So if we come into kind of that middle ground, that center point between to that core expression, it's neither one or the other. It's kind of, there's both in there. There's the potential for both, and I think that's what we're getting at here. So they just coming in. Let's take a nice deep breath into that. We're going into some interesting pieces today. And then, again, bringing that focus into the earth. So the sense that today it's really about coming into, some people might call it the 0 point, that still point, or there might be some other names. That's the only two that are coming up right now. But it's actually tapping us into the void. What people will refer to as the void. So letting ourselves go there, and the void is kind of a misnomer, because void we kind of think of totally empty, but void is actually full of potential. Yeah, empty in the sense that nothing is defined yet in that void. Yeah, so dropping us, letting ourselves come into that space. Notice whatever state is coming up. There's a little bit of grumbling that's coming up. More kind of on the emotional, personal level. That's fine. Just notice whatever might be coming up for you. And just allow it to move right through. Notice whatever it is. Notice your body. Notice that stillness. Notice your body. Yeah. Now allowing that space to deepen. We've got a nice deep space today for everybody. In the stillness is everything. Undefined, but it's there. So you allow yourself to ease into that undefined. When everything is undefined, that we enter more into that timeless space of existence. And really come into that place of nourishment of ourselves at such a core level. Yeah. Some of you are starting to open up, kind of. It's kind of this this kind of these little pops of expansions that are happening. So very nice. So just keep breathing, taking a deep breath in and releasing. And if you're feeling a bit like you're floating, it's the state. It's that timeless state. And just kind of tethering the group here. So that you can still have that floating sensation and sense from that timelessness, but also have that reference point through that tether to being grounded. So grounding kind of starts to take us into more time-bound state. So this gets back earlier to what came in earlier about masculine and feminine. So it's that little bit in between. That came up for me this morning. In fact, just that in between timeless and time-bound. It's a different feeling than timeless. It's definitely not time-bound. Staying present in your physical identity, in your physical body. And allowing ourselves to come into a deeper state of purity. guys are doing all really well. You know, it's one thing to be in one space or another, but being in between, I would say, demands more mastery of self. Holding between two, not going one direction or another. We are so often pulled in one direction or another, from lots of different places, including what's inside of us, right? But being able to hold in that center, even if it's just for a moment, brings forth in you a really strong mastery of yourself. May not necessarily all at once, maybe it's just that moment, but it starts to clock it in for you, to just mark it, mark that signal. Retrain, rewire your brain, your nervous system, your chemistry. Abuse is training to be on alert. Any kind of abuse. I think everybody here has been in some kind of abuse. And so when that happens when you're growing up, it happens later. It's usually started early, right? Your physical body is developing responses and recognition of responses and programming itself to recognize that in order to manage, to stay safe, to be secure, to be okay, to get through whatever potentially might be coming at us. So it's really important when we realize that we have some of that going on, either all the time or some of the time, to take time to come into that stillness. Even if it's for one breath before we go into reaction to something that's popping up. So a really simple example is my brother has this thing of problem solving and looking for problems, potential problems to solve. And so in that situation, I'll use that situation of just, you know, when you notice yourself going into that piece of, for example, my example here, realizing, oh, I'm looking for a problem that I need to get ready for and solve. Take a deep breath in, hold it, oh, maybe even longer, and then release it out. Release it out completely. Feel that breath. Hold it at the bottom. Feel yourself holding at the bottom. When you're doing that, your mind is going to be really focused on that and nothing else. So that's the importance of that. To switch off that on automatic. And then take another deep breath in. And, you know, it's like, okay, maybe even saying things like, I don't know if that's really a problem I need to solve right now. I think I'll just put it off for 5 minutes. I mean, if a problem comes up that's really urgent, like you need to get to the hospital now because there's a profuse bleeding that's happening, whatever, okay, that's right now. But most cases, maybe it isn't. So let's take a nice deep breath into that one. Settle into your breath. We're coming, feeling again, it never left, but it's like when you're talking, when you're listening, when you're kind of pondering what I'm saying, then we get pulled off, but feeling for a moment that state of suspension. Timeless and time-bound, kind of between the two, anchored into both. Okay. Let's see what happens. I don't know where we're going to go with this, but let's see what happens. So take a deep breath in. Let it out. Come back into your breath. So the feeling that chest, that movement of that chest. Bring to mind any issue you want. Doesn't matter what it is, just bring it to mind. Yeah. Now just be present with it and let's just sit in that space. Yeah, it's already happening for some people, really good. That state of in between, of neither one or the other. Oh, some of you it's a little harder. If you're noticing that it's not releasing for you, just kind of like, it's okay, I can just, we don't need to take care of this right this minute. Don't need to come to completion. Yeah, there we go. Even if it's coming from an external source, saying, no, that's over there, that's another dimension, another reality. I'm here. And be aware of your body. Yeah. And dimension and reality is not like what we have in the sci-fi movies, though part of that, yes, but also dimension, reality, that can be just your friend across the room. That's another dimension, that's another reality. That's not your reality, even though there's an overlap there, yeah? And it can be a lot further away than that. There we go. So some of you have a little bit of stuckness. Let's take a deep breath into that. Wherever you are, drop back down to the core of the earth. Now, nice. Just have that sense. I'm just gonna say it and just feel it, whatever comes up. I'll get to you in a minute, luminous colors. So, yeah, you could be the one I'm picking up, and not necessarily the only one. So let's walk through this. Drop into the core of the earth. Feel that connection. Now just feel whatever it feels like for you when I say the following. Connecting into pure source. Oh. Yeah. And so it's the tether in both directions here. You can kind of see it that way. And you're at that center point. So again, that theme of being at that center point, that still point, going neither in one or the other, but both there at the same time. Good theme today. So luminous color, I'm not sure if it's your trouble with connection being the internet, but what part of what's happening is that it starts to create a little bit of fear of losing connection. So you're good. You're fine. And so part of that. So if you find yourself, whether it's luminous color or anybody else, if you find yourself, it's like, oh God, I'm losing my internet, or, literally, or it's just like, I can't feel it. I don't know what the hell I can't get a sense of what's going on. Just affirm for yourself. I can't feel it right now. And I know I'm there, even if I can't feel it, because you are. The human level might not register it, might not get it, might not be able to reach it. There might be just this fog in between the human level and whatever else, whatever you're trying to connect to. Just affirm that for yourself. It's like, it's not coming through at all right now. Whatever it is, there's that fog, there's that layer, there's that whatever. But I know it's there because you are part of existence and all of this is connected. It's a question of how well in this moment you can anchor into it, feel it, connect, and have a sense of it, etc., etc. Yeah. Take a deep breath into that. Hold it at the top. And then exhale. Coming into your body. Being the awareness of your body. Okay. Coming into the breath. Bring to mind again that problem that you brought up a minute ago. Okay, much better. Let's just take a deep breath in, allowing yourself to come in a little bit more deeply into that space, that still point. That still point of being. And it might feel, you might notice that the feeling of that floatiness is not there anymore. And the reason for that is because there's more cohesiveness in your system. And that is another form of grounding, because you're more grounded into your being. It's kind of really getting dark there here. Change of the seasons here. Yeah, nice. So there's a solidness that's coming through for everyone. And for at least some of you, there's that sense that that problem is just, oh yeah, big deal. Not that big of a problem. Not, and just being present in this moment with yourself. Very nice. Everybody's doing very nicely here. So take a deep breath into that. I'm just going to go turn on a light. I'll be right back. There, now I can see myself. So you should be able to see me better now too. There we go. And good job just holding that still point for yourselves in that place. Yeah, I think you're asking that relative to, was it last time or the time before? I think it's the time before you had a good clearing there, didn't you? What's coming through immediately, Elizabeth, is that there's some deeper stuff that's coming up for you. It could be other lifetime stuff, so previous to this life or lineage. Wow, like history of lost children, like lost pregnancies, even hysterectomies. So if there's anything in your family line with that, you've got some of that's coming through. There's some past life stuff also. There's also some, so you're going in deeper. So you've taken that first layer. Don't you just love that? I gotta say, you gotta love that, because you start clearing something. It's like, okay, I feel a lot more open. Then deeper stuff comes up, and your system is going, this feels so much better. Let's get rid of more. So good job. You're just digging deeper. You have cleared out some of the boyfriend stuff. Male connections, so we got to remember, here I'm looking at not just necessarily relationship or that physical area, speaking of childbirth and lost children, but also relationship, so any kind of relationship. So there's been some clearing around relative to like boyfriends or male figures. So that's good. And now you're just going into some deeper layers. So just keep coming into that area and nurturing yourself. We can nurture ourselves by even just putting our hands on that, on your lower belly, and breathing into that. So let's have everybody do that for a minute. So take a deep breath in, hold it, and then just release it. Then coming into the breath and the chest, the heart space, coming into that area. And for everybody else, you can choose whatever area you want. It can be the lower abdomen if that fits for you, or if you just want to do that, or you can bring it to another area of your body. But so in that heart space, so let's just take a moment to be here. Oh. Huh. And then you can use your breath to help guide that frequencies, the energies from that chest and the heart space into the sacral area. It's almost like, for example, one way to do that is that on your breath, you just feel like you're, sucking through a straw and pulling it down into that area. And on the exhale, just feeling it expand and fill up that area. Or for everybody else, whatever area you want to bring that into. Yeah. So releasing some more out of there, So good work. The questions that's popping to mind is like, how long do I have to keep doing this for? I can so relate. I can so relate. That's why I'm chuckling, because it's like, oh yeah. It stops being, when are we done, is when we stop looking at it as something that we need to get beyond and seeing it as part of the expansion into more of our brilliance. So, can you understand that difference? Do you have a sense of that difference? When we're trying to get beyond it, we're always kind of like, one more thing until I'm done with this. That's a religious paradigm, by the way. When I get to heaven, be all done, all taken care of. Into being that expansion of that brilliance and realize it's like, whoa, okay, I'm stepping into more brilliance here. In releasing this, you're digging deeper to get into more brilliance. Yep. Okay, Vanessa. I'm not sure which yep you're saying too, but yes. Yes, good. So the big difference is that you're focused on that brilliance that's coming through. It's like, okay, more coming through and more. The only end, let's see how I want to put this. The only time we will be done with any of this is the end of time. Until then, we are always expanding into more. And I think all of you know pretty well that as you expand into more of the old falls away. As more of the old falls away, we expand into more. Yeah. Okay. Really nice job, everybody. This was an interesting session, don't you think? We had some really good stuff coming up here today. So just flashing on my little value donation for anybody who is feeling that, yes, to donate a little money for this the work done. And yeah, really good job. This was we had some really good points that came up. So feeling into yourself, connecting, coming into yourself, your state of being for a moment. Feeling that quiet and that calm. It was exactly what I needed. Good. I'm glad you showed up. And thank you from Asta. Yeah, you're welcome, Asta. Hope you're, well, that sacral area was good for you too, I think. Coming into that stillness and just feel that kind of relaxation, that peace, deeper sense of inner peace. Felt like I went into a deeper level of being. Really good. That's nice. Yeah. Can I ask you about my uncle who died a few months ago? He was, oh, I remember him. He used to show up for your other daughter. I think she's got this, I can't remember her name, but I want to say Vanessa also. Did someone help him? Okay, I'll check into a minute ago. Hey, Roma, good to see you. Yeah, nice session. Okay, let's see. Did someone help him to, did someone get to, to speed up his death, you mean? Okay, I'm understanding your question as, did someone help him to die faster? Does that make sense? Thank you. Feel very cleansed. Okay, very good. I'm gonna. My uncle, yeah, your uncle was a shaman, so I remember him from. He showed up on your other daughter when I worked on her. Did someone help him? So I'm understanding your question is, did someone help him to die? To speed up his death process? Is that what you're asking me? But let me tune into him. Oh, he's the sense I have of him right now is that I think his wife wanted him dead. Okay, yeah, okay. I just want to make sure that I was understanding that correctly. He's all right. We're gonna help him. So everybody, let's take a deep breath in, and just be in. So all you need to do is just, you don't need to worry about anything or who this person is or what's going on with them, but just coming into that state of being for yourself. And coming into that stillness and still point of being. Okay, I like that. Okay, all right, let's. I can see him, and I used to see him that way. I think I've the same kind of way where he's just in his space, but he was checking in on. Is it Anna or Vanessa? I can't remember her name, but you know who I'm talking about. And he's in a place of being sad, and so we're going to help him shift. And right now, I'll see if other information comes through, but right now it's just that sense of, let's put that story aside and let's put it all aside, because that will help him release and move on. Yeah, he's already shifting, so that's good. A little bit about him showing up is that he wanted a last connection with some people that he loved, you know. So my sense is that he cared about you and your daughter too. There was a close kind of connection. She was kind of following that family line of his lineage, that shaman lineage. So he wanted to have that, almost kind of say like a last goodbye. So if you're still feeling him around, just acknowledge him. And she can also too, and I keep bringing her up because he was coming in very strongly for her during the sessions, to just acknowledge him and thank him for having been part of your life, you know. So deep breath in. Yeah, there's just going to sit with that one. I saw your last mention, so his death was unexpected. So there's two things going on here that I see. Part of it is there's a little bit of the dark stuff, and when you get into this shaman stuff business, there's always that comes up. That's kind of in the background, whether it influences you or not. It's also part of the realms that you are around, that are around you. Whether you really dive into them deeply or not is another question. But they're part of that piece, part of the work, so to speak, even if he wasn't directly engaged in the darker stuff. It's just there. There's also a sense that, he was wanting to go at this time. Like he was starting to get ready of saying, okay, I want to move on. And there could be a lot of reasons for that. Like just feeling like you want to be in a different place where you can do more, where you can experience more, where you can, it's like, okay, this is kind of the end of the line. And it's time to go on. So there's a little bit of both there. And again, I'm going to repeat that there's a sense of not getting caught up in that story so that he can transition better and transition into a higher level as well, and not kind of stay caught at that lower level, if that makes sense to you, Vanessa. And so forgiveness for the wife, and not in the sense of that she did something wrong, but anything negative. So that forgiveness by letting go of anything negative towards him, of anything negative towards her, because that's also will get into a place of weighing you down. And let her be in her space. Yes, she could probably clear up a few things, but letting her be in that space and being okay with that. Okay, so he says, yes, I see that. Okay, good. So let's just take another deep breath in and come into your heart, Vanessa, and everybody can join in. Just being in that presence of your heart. You don't need to do more than that, but for Vanessa, feel in your heart love, a love for him. You don't hold him in your heart. Don't do that. Just feel love that you feel for him. Yeah. Yeah, so as you let her be in her own space, that will help to start her to unwind everything that she needs to unwind relative to him, relative to anything in her life that she's unhappy or was unhappy about, didn't like, etc. Okay? So that's real good because that's starting to actually happen for her. That's opening up the space for her to maybe get into regret or just start thinking it's like, oh God, what did I do? What was I wanting? Not saying she did anything, but get in that space. So that's good. That's starting to unwind for her. And that's the important piece relative to his wife. Yeah. And he's shifted out. So that was nice. It was nice to see him again. I appreciate that as well. So thanks for bringing that to mind. Okay, everybody, really good job. Really good, really excellent session today. Very special with all of you. So Every Wednesday, stop on by whenever you want, whenever you feel like it. Every Wednesday if you want. And see you next Wednesday or in the ethers or wherever else we connect. And take care, everybody. Have a good rest of your weekend.